I think most of you know the base design from templetaps called the Chan Cabin, but if not, that's not a problem. The only thing you have to know about it is that in my opinion it's one of the greatest solo base designs of all time. But it's pretty old and not greatly adapted into the current meta. So guess what? We're doing exactly that. Making it fit more bags so you and your duo can chill in there together, but most importantly we're adding a bunker. Because you see, blowing through walls really isn't a great option with this base, as it costs like 24 rockets and we don't want that. And raiding through doors was always way cheaper. But not if you're faced with a full-on HQ and bunker when raiding through doors, which the raiders are forced to raid through. And not to mention, this base has like basically infinite storage for a very cheap build cost. So here's a short cinematic base tour. So the start of the base is like a normal 2x1, but with a few half walls here and there. And if you want to, you can also just start off with a normal 1x1 and expand from that a bit later. Same thing with your airlock, and in there you can place a total of 3 furnaces. The placement is a little bit difficult, but if you follow the exact placement in this video, then you can even fit a bag in there. Note that rotating walls always makes the placement a bit easier. Now if you do it correctly, then you can add another 2 large boxes and even another small one on this shelf. And in this sunken floor you can also fit a total of 4 large boxes. And once again, rotating the walls can make it a whole lot easier, as this placement can be a bit difficult sometimes. And note that you can also place 3 small boxes instead of the last large one, so that's a different possibility, but I prefer 4 large boxes. It's a bit more difficult, but I just like the stuff being more organized in larger boxes. And of course, don't forget rotating them back before it's too late. And after adding a triangle, you can also place your workbench with maybe even a campfire beneath it. And if you want to, you can even add a vending machine to sell your stuff or for just some nice storage. And you can place another bag on this exact spot. And now for the bunker to work, we're gonna expand with the bunker placing these foundations this exact way, so a few low and a few high ones. And now that's the finished footprint of the base. On this side you can add some wall frames to place shop fronts later. This of course also works with windows. Now place 1 twig half wall and an upgraded normal wall on top. This is for the bunker. Now to seal the bunker, just place a twig half wall with an upgraded triangle roof on top, and after destroying the twig half wall, the bunker opens up again. And it is of course recommended to upgrade the foundations to at least high qual, so that it can't be soft sided that easily. Over here you can also place a locker and a furnace if you want to, for some extra stuff and some quick respawns. Now you can of course also place another 2 furnaces here. If you place them correctly, just make sure that you can still fit through. Now the basic idea of the base is finished. You just have to add your honeycomb, of course, as that is very important. And it's a bit weird because on 2 sides you have to add low walls and do 1.5 high walls. It's explained in the video better, but it's basically just normal honeycomb on the roof and on the sides. Now as the wipe goes on, it's of course recommended to upgrade the core to HQM and the rest of the base to metal, and this actually should not be too much of a problem as you have like 6 furnaces in your base, so you should be fine. As this base is so cheap to build, and you can of course use the normal 2x1 as a starter with the sunken loot floor, and this base can actually get you quite far. And because it's so cheap, you can have this as some kind of outpost base. So a second base, for example for farming in the snow, because the nodes are way better there, or for just a PvP base in a highly populated area, so you can snipe them pigs. And yeah, so it can be used on various different occasions. And note that this base can be expanded in various different ways. Me myself lived in it many times before, and I always expanded it pretty differently. I added, for example, a jump up where the vending machine usually is, because I usually don't use the vending machine. So I just made a jump up, and then I added a shooting floor on top, for example. So you can make a lot of different possibilities. I even added a farm once. So yeah. And that wraps up today's video. I of course recommend checking out the video from templetaps, the original video, because it's just pretty good and he explains it in a bit more detail, the base, and he has also some other great designs that you should go check out. And I would really appreciate a like or maybe even a subscribe if you enjoy, because that would really mean a lot to me. But I of course appreciate all of the recent support from you guys. But that's all for now, so see you next time.